What's up, YouTube? I'm Mike. Today is a very special video. Today is possibly the last video that I'm going to make on this channel before I get confirmation on whether or not I am a fucking genetic freak and should be remanded to the custody of Mayo Clinic for extensive studying. I got my blood work pulled on this MENT cycle that I've been running for a few weeks now. It's hard to really tell since I was too stupid to be able to dose it right in the beginning. But I have been on 15 milligrams of MENT for over a week now, and it has caused a whole host of problems that has forced me to go and get blood work. As you know from the previous videos, it has been confirmed that I managed to crash my prolactin into the toilet with cabergoline. That could be the problem. That could very well be the cause of the DECA D type problems. Although the problems that I've been having are the revert. Well, the thing is I have low prolactin and yet experiencing the symptoms of high prolactin, which, you know, again, when you're dealing with female hormones in the male body, it can be very difficult to dial in because you can have D gain problems on the low end or the high end. That's why finding the sweet spot is so important, and why I do not like messing around with anything that aromatizes, especially anything that aromatizes. Prolactin is usually a lot easier to dial in, and it's one of the reasons that I'm pretty much convinced, especially after last night, that all of the sexual problems that I've been having are not actually related to prolactin. Generally speaking, when my prolactin is low, it does not cause any real problems. It just causes a very short refractory period and a very reduced satisfaction in the finish. This is primarily the issue, and it's very easy to rectify. Totally destroying your entire D game seems to be the purview of the most evil hormone ever created on planet Earth, estradiol. That is some nasty, horrible, terrible shit. If you do not respect it, it will totally destroy your life, and all of the signs and symptoms in my body are pointing to the fact that I somehow have low estrogen, which is why I'm making this video today. Typically, it takes about 4 days to get a sensitive E2 test back. I gave bloods on Monday, so we should be hopefully getting the results somewhere in the next 24-hour period, hopefully before I make another video. So before my opinion of the matter gets tainted by the results, basically, I want to be completely transparent about how I have been feeling on this cycle, because I ran into some more problems last night. So, as I have said thus far, my strength is ungodly. My energy in the gym is ungodly. My wife is routinely having to come to me and go, Mike, like, we've been here for 2 hours. We've got to go. Interestingly enough, like yesterday before we went to the gym, I wasn't even terribly driven to go. But once I get there, I do not ever want to leave. I just cannot tap myself out. I would probably be doing, if it was up to me right now, I would probably switch my schedule to push-pull legs and go 6 days a week with 1 day off in the middle, and probably have 2 to 2.5 hour workouts. I just want to lift and lift and lift and lift, and the more I lift, the better I feel. I feel substantially better when I am in the gym. The days that I am not in the gym, the volume of sympathetic drive that is being created by all of these compounds is enough to leave me relatively uncomfortable about the house. You will notice that the days that I produce 2 or 3 videos is usually a day I probably didn't go to the gym. If I was extremely active on Discord, firing on people left and right, I probably didn't go to the gym, because I'm trying to find some outlet for all of this energy, and when I don't have one, it actually makes me feel very uncomfortable. Now, to the second thing that I want to be sure and be transparent about before the test results come back and we start figuring out what exactly else is going on. We know we have the low prolactin state. I have been taking 500 milligrams. I actually bumped it up 1 week to 600, actually it was like 650. I've been taking about 500 milligrams of test C per week for the past 2 weeks. I am now on day 9 of no Arimidex. I have never in my life been able to survive this long without an aromatase inhibitor, without actually starting to grow Pamela Anderson-sized breasts. I can tell you that, as you can see, I have absolutely no breast development. I do not know how this is happening. Generally, I would have expected by day 3 or 4 to have puffiness, by day 5 or 6 to have itching and swelling, pain, by day 7 to be in the toilet vomiting. I mean, this is about how rapidly my body reacts to estrogen. I have done tests in the past where I accidentally got a hold of D-ball and thought it was T-ball, and it took about 6 days for me to go from totally normal estrogen to my estrogen peaked at 179 picograms per deciliter, and I was vomiting every single morning in a morning sickness type of way. I know I mentioned this guy a lot, Kavalser, a buddy of mine who we become friends through this channel, who has extensive medical history. He is a medical doctor. He is basically waiting with bated breath as well, because he continues to tell me that there's just no way. On paper, we're both in 100% agreement. I should have massively elevated estrogen. Between the MENT that aromatizes, the DECA that aromatizes, the test that aromatizes, my estrogen should be absolutely stratospheric, and yet I'm having no rapid weight gain from water retention. I have no gyno. I have no bloated face. My joints don't feel buttery smooth like they typically do when I have high estrogen, and I'm not crying all of the time at the lamest of videos. I posted to my Discord the other day, there's a song by Tim Minchin that you can look up on YouTube. It's the best version when he plays it live. The song is called Not Okay? It's Okay, I think. I'm not perfect. It's not perfect. That's what it is. Tim mentions It's Not Perfect. I use this as sort of an E2 test. For whatever reason, that song gets to me emotionally, and if my estrogen is really low, I'll have no interest in listening to it, and it can almost be an annoyance. If my estrogen is dialed into the sweet spot and I listen and watch that song, I will usually tear up at a few different parts. If my estrogen is through the roof, I will literally be at the gym listening to this song. One day I was doing 50-pound dumbbell flies and just free crying the whole time. Just tears just pouring out of my face. People were looking at me like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? So I listened to that song 2 days ago in the gym, and I was like, this is the dumbest song ever. Why did he write this? This is just like a massive telltale sign that my estrogen is in the toilet. What doesn't make any sense is how it got in the toilet and why it is staying in the toilet. If my E2 comes back low, it will have been low 4 days ago, and there is no sign in my body really that it has changed in the past 4 days, which means all of the tests and the 700 IUs of HCG that I'm taking 3 times a week, and the Nandrolone and the MENT, everything that I'm doing to try to bring my test levels back, nothing seems to be working. The other thing that I want to report to you is that I am absolutely dead inside. I have said this, that this occurs sometimes on high trend cycles, that I become quote unquote dead inside. This is a whole new level of dead inside. What I am experiencing right now is a very strange combination of the trend god complex, where I actually feel in every fiber of my being that I am totally and completely superior to every living, breathing thing on earth. Generally on the trend god, generally when I have this kind of heightened ego purely from trend and everything else is dialed in, it's this sort of narcissistic kind of high where I kind of want to strut around in front of everybody and make sure everybody knows just how much my shit don't stink. In this particular situation, it's like an extra level of godhood. It's like godhood that is making me feel like I'm on an island and I don't even care if anyone recognizes my existence at all. I'm just totally, completely content at all times. This contentedness is causing a number of problems. The contentedness that I'm feeling, I talked about this in the early going with the MENT, that I kept just saying like, I don't know, I just feel very content. The problem with that is I am content with nothing. I have absolutely zero libido. I have zero desire to eat. I have zero desire to touch or interact with my wife. I don't have the usual like narcissistic drive where I want to like compulsively check my comments, track my analytics. Does everybody like my video? Like I just don't care about anything in life at all. And it's like really good that's the thing. It's like from my perspective, I've never been happier. Because I'm not, like I want my car, admittedly. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm still pretty pissed off that I haven't got my car yet. But even that's like this kind of like sub-level thing. Like I could just be sitting around the house with nothing really to do and I don't care. I just don't have any wants. I think that the combination of the triple 19 NORs that I'm on, and I'm about to do some research after I make this video. There are multiple different dopamine receptors. I think there's 3, D1, D2, D3, there might be 4. The only time in my life I've ever felt this level of contentedness was on amphetamines. So like when I'm on amphetamines, I don't want to sleep, I don't want to have sex, I don't want to touch anybody, I don't want interpersonal relationships, I don't want to eat. I'm just happy to just be. As long as those receptors are saturated, I'm just happy to just be. I can just be anywhere, doing nothing. When I used to tweak, sometimes I would go walk around Walmart for fucking 8 hours at a time and just read the back of boxes of every product on the shelf. I would just walk up and down the aisles and just grab boxes and just like, oh yeah. I used to tell you every ingredient and everything that was on the cosmetics aisle because I'd read every single box in these like midnight tweaks at Walmart. This was pre-internet days. And so that's the closest I've ever been to this level of just like, I don't care about anything, but it's not coming with all of the bad side effects that you get from amphetamines. I'm not up all night, I'm not all paranoid, I'm still eating. I'm eating enough to maintain my body weight, but I'm taking no pleasure in it. I don't want it. I'm just doing it because I know that I have to. I cannot feel my wife emotionally at all, and this is making sex nearly impossible. So it's just like I'm in bed with a stranger. I don't know who this person is. I don't even entirely understand why she wants to be in bed with me. I don't really care about the act at all. I don't really care about the finish at all. I just like last night I probably would have been more happy to lay there and talk about dopamine receptors than I would have been to engage in any kind of sexual activity. So this is just, as polar opposite of a situation as you can get from me on a typical cycle. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is, despite the fact that I feel very happy and I'm not really complaining in any way, I'm basically all fucked up. Like every normal physiological function in my body, aside from the fact that I look amazing and I have freak strength and I have freak endurance, everything is in total disarray. I don't know, I suspect, just going purely off feel, I think that I have low estrogen and low prolactin. The prolactin is eventually going to come back because I've stopped the cabergoline, but it has about 3-day half-life. It's a little bit shy of 3 days. And I took 1.5 milligrams of cabergoline the week before I found out that I crashed it. So it could be another week or 2 weeks before my prolactin level gets back to normal. That could be causing all of these problems, the majority of these problems. If in the next 24 hours I get blood work back and find out that my estrogen has crashed, then we are going to have both, if you ask me, I'm going to be excited as shit. If I find out that my estrogen crashed, I'm going to be overjoyed for 2 reasons. One, because I will be right again, and I will have accurately felt the way my body, like I will have accurately diagnosed all of the things that I'm feeling, and being right always feels good. but also because it will mean that I am some kind of genetic freak, and that's exciting to me, because then I get to figure out, okay, well, what crashed it and how can we fix it? You know, is it just a matter of I just can't take MENT at all? Is it a matter of massively elevating my testosterone level to offset whatever the MENT apparently is doing? Is there some kind of dopaminergic activity of the combination of 319-nor compounds that is conspiring to destroy my sex drive? What is really going on? Again, because of the fact that these symptoms are very, very similar to what I would experience on amphetamines, it makes me wonder if it's not occurring at some type of neurological level. That admittedly makes me a little scared, because again, I am apparently in no man's land here. There are no other videos that I've been able to find about somebody running 319-nor compounds and what effects it had on their body. I could be doing some kind of never before seen damage and not know it, not even know to look out for it, because of the fact that I cannot find any evidence that this has ever been attempted in the bodybuilding community. So I think that I'm not doing any damage, because I think if I was doing any significant damage that I would feel badly. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I just wanted to make this video to try to give you as much unadulterated information as I can about how I'm feeling before I find out these test results. Because the thing with my brain is, the second that I find out a test result, then I want to start going and blaming, and it just muddies the water. Like right now, I mean, the second that I found out that my prolactin was low, it immediately muddies the water. It's like, okay, well, you know, that can cause this, that can cause that. What about this connected to that? All of a sudden my brain goes into problem-solving mode, and it becomes slightly less just how do I really feel. So I really just cannot wait. I wish I could just like speed up time or call Quest and put a fucking rush on this test result, because everything is basically hinging on that. The only reason I say everything is hinging on the test is just because there's no data to suggest that I should have low E2. So I have to confirm it before I try to treat it. If I just assume that Kowals was right and my E2 is high and start taking Arimidex, I can make things massively worse than they already are, and I just don't want to do that. So things seem to be getting better. That's the thing that's the most positive, is that my bedroom functionality is getting better. But it's a very, very slow process. Again, that could be due to prolactin and its long and cabergoline's long half-life. There's just so many fucking variables with this thing. It's impossible to pin anything down. But I wanted to talk candidly about the feelings, because this may be the first and only. Like I said, I think I'm paving a new course here in this experiment. So psychologically, from a very selfish perspective, I feel phenomenal. But it is definitely putting a massive strain on my relationship. And I know intuitively and just intellectually that a man of my age, coming from where I've been, to have zero libido for this period of time means something is not working right. Something is very wrong. My ability to get into the act last night was phenomenal. My ability to stay in the act was phenomenal. My ability to finish the act was non-existent. And that definitely can be caused by low prolactin. So prolactin could be over here causing one set of circumstances, but I still don't understand why I have no water retention, no bloat, no gynecomastia, no extreme emotionality, why my blood pressure's not through the roof. All of the things that you would expect to have happen if you had really high, I'm not vomiting, I don't have upset stomach. These are all things that we would expect to be happening if my estrogen had been high, especially when I got it tested. Because if it comes back high on that test, then my God, I mean, it should have been continuing to climb over the past 4 days that I'm still not taking any E2. So it should be, I mean, like I like to say, it should be stratospheric at this point. And I just don't have any symptoms that that's true. So there you have it. That is the I am dead inside but loving life MENT update. If I had half of a brain, I would just pull the plug on the MENT. And that very well may be what has to happen. It might be the easiest way to at least prove that it is the MENT causing the problem. Because obviously if I just take the MENT out, it's a fast-acting ester, short-acting ester I should say, it will clear my system a lot more rapidly than anything else that I'm using. And if the symptoms rapidly start to improve as the MENT leaves the scene, then bam, the MENT is acting as an AI or some combination of bizarro, physiological events are going on in the presence of the of the MENT, and we'll know the causal factor. And then once we know the causal factor, we can determine whether or not we want to reintroduce the MENT in very low quantities, or start to dial it in, or just go ahead and label this thing as a total epic disaster that should never be touched again. This, unfortunately, is a conclusion that a lot of guys have come to. A lot of guys who've tried MENT have said, fuck that, I'm never running that compound again. It is a total fucking dumpster fire. So, that's the hard part for me. If I wasn't gaining weight, if I didn't look phenomenal, then I would be right there with them. I'd be saying, yeah, it's a dumpster fire. It broke my D. It broke everything. It's fucking up my life. I don't ever want to take this shit again. If I was a ball of estrogen, then I would have more reason to demonize the drug. But when the drug is making you feel like better than ever in 99% of your life, and there's this one little aspect that strangely is just not functioning right, and it might be caused by prolactin, it's like obviously the fucking jury's still out. So there you have it. I want to give you this quick update. I'm trying to decide what else I want to do as far as content today. I've got people every day asking me for another one of the homeless series. I may do that. I really prefer to shoot the bodybuilding content, but because I'm in such a holding pattern here, I don't know really what to do. My weight is staying stable between 213, 215 pounds in the evening, depending on how much food I try to cram in my face. If I'm kind of lax with my eating, then I usually end up at about 213. If I cram everything I can get into my face, then I'm sitting at 215 in the evenings, and that is holding stable. I have decided to slowly start reducing my MK677 dose and try to taper off of that and then back on in hopes of rekindling my appetite. So I'm going to be kind of tapering off the MK677, and when I get through pinning this video, I'm going to go pin 300 micrograms of GHRP6 and try to use that as an appetite stimulant in the meantime to hold on to as much tissue while I am letting go of my wingman MK677, which is the only thing that is keeping me at this weight. So I got to find a way to reactivate that drug in my system, or I'm going to lose all of my gains due to the fact that I cannot eat on these 19 NOR compounds. So that's the other thing going on. I've got some GH that I'm ready to try to start, but I want to find out these test results first before I start muddying the water too much. And then, like I said, the doses could start creeping up substantially if I find out that my E2 is low and I determine that I'm going to stay on the MENT. Then the test dose is getting ready to go to the moon. The next stop from here is 750 milligrams of test, I'm guessing. So there you have it. That is the current update. That is what I'm feeling like. This is what I am looking like. My strength, like I said, is great. My cuts and everything are still looking tight. I feel like I'm slightly wetter than I've been. I'm hoping that's a sign that my estrogen is coming up. But every night, man, if it's coming up, it's coming up really slowly. And like yesterday alone, I pinned 150 milligrams of DECA, 250 milligrams of test, and I took 700 IUs of HCG. That should be aromatase expression bomb. Like I should have aromatized a metric ton of estrogen yesterday, and I woke up this morning with exactly 0 signs or symptoms that occurred. So I'm telling you, man, it is rapidly beginning to look like I am some kind of outlier fucking genetic freak. And if that's the case, then the testing and guinea pigging is about to start in earnest. So there you have it. I've rambled on long enough. As always, thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.